Did you know that there are scams out there that are targeting therapists specifically? Well, I didn't either until some of these things started happening to me and also other therapists in my practice. And so that's why I wanted to record this video to explain to you the top 8 scams that are currently targeting therapists right now so that you can be on the alert and make sure that you don't fall vulnerable. True story. Just the other day in my practice, growing self-counseling and coaching, I had a colleague let me know that they had been scammed. Now, this was one of the most common scams that I have heard of, and I've gotten this call myself. This is the one where the scary police officer calls you and says, you have been subpoenaed, you failed to show up to court when you were supposed to, and now there's a warrant out for your arrest. So you're possibly going to get arrested, but unless you come down to the station right now and pay this fine, you're probably going to lose your license to practice. They actually went to the ATM as instructed, took out $500, and only when they arrived at the police station for the handoff, realized that it was in fact a scam. I had known about this for several years. I had gotten that call in the past. The only reason that I didn't fall victim to this myself is because I was a part of a professional consultation group where other therapists were talking about their own experiences. And so I had heard about this from them. So when I got the call, I was like, oh no, buddy, you're not doing this to me. But my colleague, I felt so bad for, a younger person licensed within the past year, had not had the benefit, apparently, of hearing about this. I have to struggle with this, but as a leader had failed because I thought everybody knew about this scam. So I wasn't talking about it in my practice. And I was wrong. And that's why I'm talking about this today with you. After I heard about this with my colleague, of course, I posted about it on LinkedIn. I started talking about it in my practice, and I heard from a couple of people in my practice that they had not known about it previously and had come very close to doing the same thing. Their license was on the line. They were in trouble with the law, and they are decent, conscientious, law-abiding people. So they were actually going to pay the money to get themselves out of trouble. But at the very last second, fate intervened, so they didn't. The next one, and this has happened to me too, I have gotten a call or an inquiry into my practice from new clients, typically requesting multiple sessions for multiple family members. They come in with a story. They're like, I have 5 daughters and their mother just died, and I'd love to get therapy for all of them, and I'd like to pay in advance. Now, the way that this scam works is that you're like, oh, okay. If you don't know, you're like, all right, great. New client scheduling all these sessions. And so you book them. They want to pay you in advance. But somehow to make that happen, guess. Yes, you guessed it. You need to give them your bank account number. Another really common scam that gets a lot of therapists is the fake insurance rep scam. Somebody calling on the phone about a client. They need information from you in order to be able to process an insurance claim. And to be helpful, of course, you hand it over. And that can essentially be contributing to your client's identity theft. Another one that is terrible is the fake tech scam. In private practice these days, all of our information is going through operating platforms, right? And so if you find a website that is offering an operating system and it looks good, all the bells and whistles, maybe you even have a demo call with one of their reps. But then, of course, to set up an operating system, what do you have to do? You need to hand over your tax ID number, your bank account information, maybe your social security number, verify your identity, start piping all your clients' identifying data into there as well. This can be a scam that targets therapists. So make sure that you do a lot of homework before you sign on to any operating system to make sure that it is in fact legitimate, and anything that sounds too good to be true probably is. But wait, there's more. There are also telehealth scams where you sign up for a telehealth service provider, so something that will do online video calls, and it is a platform, maybe it's a lower price, et cetera, but these people now have access to literally everything that you're saying and doing on these calls. They can essentially siphon off all of the information, the content of the sessions themselves, which is incredibly icky to think about. Another one that I have also encountered, I have been reached out to so many times about this one, is the fake collaboration scam. People offering to collaborate with me for conferences. They usually get in touch on social media. They're putting together a consortium with all kinds of people, oftentimes talking about big name people, but they want me to be a keynote speaker. And of course, there is a sponsorship component. They would like me to either pay them money or hand over access to my entire email list, start pushing out their stuff on my social media platforms, et cetera, et cetera. I think the only people who are earning money on this are the people who are creating online courses, telling people that the key to success is to do consortiums and get access to other people and their information in this way. So I think there are different kinds of scams of this nature. Some are just straight up financial scams, but other are like your social authority type scams. And I would strongly advise that you stay away from any of these. There are also fake trainings that people reach out to therapists to get involved in. They offer conferences or training, experiences that are not inexpensive, at least hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. And you look at their stuff, it looks good. They have a website. You have to pre-register and pay money. And then when it comes for the time of the event, it turns into a fire festival. It's either incredibly low quality and you're like, what is even happening right here? Or it just vanishes completely because it was a scam. Now, another one that is super scary is fake credentialing. If you have a group private practice like me at Growing Self-Counseling and Coaching, you may be very vulnerable to being responsible for supporting the credentialing of other people in your practice. Now, there are legitimate organizations that offer this type of service, and that can be a really helpful thing. I mean, it's almost like an HR process, and it is absolutely legitimate as a business owner to be outsourcing some of that. But you have to make very careful that if you do that with someone, they are a legitimate provider, because if you're not paying attention, you're now in a situation where you are handing over names, addresses, birth dates, social security numbers, all kinds of identifying information, either of yourself or other people on your team, to these credentialers who just take it and then disappear. This is the Simple Practice Con. I know that a lot of providers, therapists, and private practice use Simple Practice as their EHR, their electronic records management tool. And for many years, I did too. I had the opportunity, after Simple Practice updated their terms of service, to read through the entire thing and realize some of what they're doing. They have access to all of your information, anything you upload to Simple Practice, including clients' notes, including worksheets or assessments or tools that you're putting together, they own. If you have a website that is hosted by Simple Practice, not only do they own all of the content that you put on there, including videos, blog posts, it belongs to them. They also have the right to advertise other people's practices on your therapy website. People are going to see a little ad for BetterHelp. Oh, they're running a 40% off special. Why should I book a consultation with this therapist, right? Additionally, this is the really scary part. They have the right to follow up with your clients and gather information about their client's experience with you that they then sell. That happened to me. And last but not least, whenever one of your private practice clients signs that waiver to start their Simple Practice portal, they begin getting marketing emails. As if they schedule that first appointment through Simple Practice and their portal, they start getting marketing emails that is attempting to sell them, your clients that just set up a portal to work with you. Simple Practice starts sending them marketing emails to sign up with other providers. Check out these other providers in Denver. Or did you know that BetterHelp is running a 40% off special this month? I was shocked and horrified and so angry when I found out about this. So of course I switched to a different service provider. But if you are currently a Simple Practice client, I would recommend that you print out all 97 pages of those terms and services and sit down with a highlighter like I did. The way that we all stay safe is through sunlight. It is through things like this. I stayed safe against some of these scams because I knew about them ahead of time, because I was part of professional consultation groups, professional membership groups. I have relationships with other therapists. I was not alone. Use your resources. Ask me. You hop on LinkedIn and ask me. If I've heard of it, I'll totally tell you. If I haven't, I'll totally tell you. But I mean, it's this kind of knowledge and connection that is our best defense. And then don't let anybody scare you. There are so many different scams that are targeting clinicians. You have to be aware of them. If anything sounds weird, it just might be. And I hope that listening to this today gave you some clarity and direction about what is out there and how to protect yourself. So again, spread the word, and I will be back in touch next time with another episode of Love, Happiness, and Success for Therapists. See you later.